All right, we are starting a new exploration. This is exploration 3, which is going to set you up for project 3. So actually typed that wrong, immediately made a mistake right out of the gate. That's a good start. So I have a cleaned new project. I'm trusting that you're able to set that up now. I basically took out everything that is not necessary here. Let's go ahead and hello world this just to make sure it's working. Looks good. No styling, nothing going on. Clean, 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 and this is cleaned up as well. Everything except the metadata. All right, so now back to our installation here. I want to install MUI. We've done this before as well. I'm going to add another terminal here so I don't have to close my server down. MUI and emotion styled and all that good stuff. And there we go. So that's installed now. What I'd like to use for MUI, actually I probably can get to it from here, is I want to create a text field so that the user can type something in. So text field, I probably scrolled past it. There it is. It's right here. Now there's two kinds of text fields. There's controlled and uncontrolled. Uncontrolled will use useRef to keep track of it, but we're going to use controlled elements. We're going to be using a controlled element here for this. So let's take a look here. Go and import box from at MUI. Whoops, at MUI. Box will be good, and then text field as well. And these are not controlled. Controlled will have a value that we're going to be tracking. Let's see. There it is. Okay, controlled versus uncontrolled. So here's a good example of a controlled text field. So we'll kind of emulate this a little bit. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong file. Take that out. We're going to page.tsx. I bet you guys were confused there. All right, page.tsx, box text field. I'm going to change this div to a box since we're going to be using MUI. We'll try to MUI everything instead of using just plain old HTML whenever possible. And then text field. And ID. And for this, we're going to just be getting a word. So we're going to say word text label, and this will be word value. Okay, so value is the actual value that's in the text field, and that's going to be dynamic. It's going to change. If I hard code a value, let's kind of demonstrate what happens. I'm just going to hard code the word text in here. And we will need an on change, but for now I'm going to leave it as just an empty function that does nothing. Oh. Wait, why does on change equals? Yeah, this should be right. Okay. Okay, I just have to close this. Okay. Now, okay, it does want it. JSX non-empty expression. Okay, there we go. I don't know. I thought I did that before, but it's expecting a function in the on change here. Now, if I go back over to here, we're going to get some event handlers cannot be passed to client component props value text. If you need interactivity, consider converting part of this to a client component. Now, whenever we're dealing with user input, we do need it to be rendered on the client side. So I'll put use client here. You're going to get all kinds of problems. It's kind of surprising the text field itself is a problem. But now, so the value here is text. And I can't actually type anything in here. I'm typing right now and nothing is going in there. That's because we hard-coded the value. So we need to be able to change the value. And we can do that with a hook, the use state, which we've used before. So we'll import useState here. And then we will create a state variable for our word. So const word set word equals useState. Type is going to be string. And the default, just to test this out, I'm going to say my word here. And then I'm guessing we know what to do, but we're going to change this value to that word. Now, whatever I put in here, my word, there we go. Still can't type anything in there though, because we're not actually setting the word anywhere. So how do we set that word now? What we can do is down here, we need to set up an event handler here. So event react. If you're ever looking through the documentation for MUI, a lot of these now have JavaScript and TypeScript because TypeScript is becoming so popular. So we'll be using TypeScript, and we can see the onChange event looks like this. Event, which is a type of React.changeEvent. So event React.changeEvent, HTML input element. That's how we type that. And then inside of the function, we call set word, and we set it to event.target.value. Now, if you've done traditional HTML code, this should look kind of familiar, event target value. With JavaScript and interacting with text fields, this is a normal thing. This isn't a React specific thing. So you may have seen that before. If not, that's fine. But now, anytime the value changes, it's going to take that value and then set our word to whatever that value is. So now we should be able to make changes here, and I can type this in, hello world, and it will set the value. The other thing I want to have is a way of storing the word. So this is, we're actually going to need a separate variable for storing our saved word. So this is kind of an interesting thing because we got two different variables we're going to have to track here. First of all, let's leave this blank here. And we'll go ahead and say const and then saved word and set saved word equals useState string. This will also start off as blank. And whenever I submit this, I want it to save that word. So I want to submit it when I press enter, which I believe I can do. Let's see if that's in here. On enter. I think it's just on enter. Let's see if we can just on. Okay, it is on key down. All right, so set saved word, and then we're going to set it to the current event target value. Do I have to set this to a change event as well? It might not work with this kind of event. Yeah, it's a keyboard event, so I have to do this differently. Let's try it like this. I don't know if this is going to work 100%. But we're going to try setting it to word. And then we're going to test this with a use effect here. And we're going to call the use effect whenever saved word changes. And we're going to console log saved word. And this is going to just let us know that this worked. Doesn't like something here that we're doing. There we go. Let's see. And then we got to open our console. Test. Okay. This is a test. Yeah, it should work because enter is not going to add anything to our key press. So that's totally fine. All right, so now we're able to submit our word by pressing enter and set our saved word to that. So that way we can use this saved word and we can actually use this use effect to help us whenever we're trying to do something with that word.